Welcome back, friend. We are going to be discussing everything snacks today. And my favorite way to do that is with a warm latte. So I'm getting mine started here. I encourage you to do the same, whether it be a warm latte or some black coffee or maybe a hot cup of tea. Get it ready because I am bringing you some snack ideas that will be both healthy, fun, and easy for you to prep. And if that sounds good, stay tuned.
Welcome. I have learned a few things on the area of snacks, and just a little disclaimer for you here. We have tried to simplify our lives the best we can. We are still trying to do that, and one of those areas has been snack time. So we do not have snack time every single day. I don't have multiple snacks available for my kids every single day. It is just what works for us, and it has alleviated some pain points of motherhood for us to not have all of that available. We do have snack time on occasion. One of our favorite snacks is granola. Granola can be utilized in so many ways, and it's one of those things where you can pair it with a protein and it be a great snack that is actually going to fill bellies and get them through to the next meal. So with granola, we like topping it on yogurt as a good protein source. Sometimes we have blueberry sauce on hand, which is really just blueberries in a saucepan. I add some sugar, cook it down a little bit, and it gets a little bit more syrupy. So we add that in, makes it fun, changes the color of the yogurt so they get excited, and so do I, if I'm honest. It's pretty great. So we will do that. I make our granola very basic to where it's pretty much just the actual oats and maybe some nuts. We usually don't always have nuts on hand. So we do just the basic granola, and then I will add in what we have on hand at the time. We will do granola with dried fruit that we have. I get our dried fruit from Azure Standard. It's so nice to have a good source for dried fruit. A lot of times in stores, even the best ones that we have locally, the options aren't great and they will put extra oils and such in them. Azure Standard is our best option for trying to stick to a budget. And we will add that dried fruit into the granola and make a trail mix or cereal. Top that with some whole milk. They love that. We've recently started doing that because for the longest time, like, my kids didn't know what cereal was because we just don't buy it. So that is our cereal now, and they enjoy that. And it's well paired with the milk for the protein and some extra fat. So they enjoy that. It fills bellies. I mentioned a granola recipe that I do use in a recent video, so I'll link that in the description if you want to check that out. I love it. It's simple, it's easy, and it always works and tastes good for us. So that's the one we use. We use good quality oats from Azure Standard. The good quality oats are important to us since I do try to get basic, simple ingredients. We do try to do the best we can on those ingredients. And to be honest, any kind of organic oat in the store is very expensive for what it is, in my opinion. So Azure Standard allows us to get it in bulk for a much better price per pound than it would be in the store, and since we use it so much, it is totally worth it for us. Another stack we have started doing is oat bars. We got this recipe from a friend of a friend. I have no idea where it came from, but I will add the recipe in the description that I used. I did actually tweak it a bit for our liking and just for what made sense for us, but I'll put the recipe down there so you guys can try it out. But it has protein powder in it and doesn't require peanut butter, which I was so excited about because I feel like most of the oat protein type snacks are always with peanut butter, and we don't eat a ton of peanut butter in our home, but I also don't love having peanut butter fingers on my things. There's something about peanut butter that just sticks on little fingers for days, I feel like, no matter if you wash their hands or not. So we try to avoid peanut butter on any kind of snack. But these oat bars are great. They taste kind of incredible. Like, I was a little shocked. It was delicious and was really easy to make. I even kind of cut out part of the complication of making them, so it got even easier. And my kids absolutely loved them. They thought they were delicious. So we are making those now. I do want to have a little bit more of a routine of making those, not so that they can have them every single day, but so that we do have them handy for when we do want to do a snack or we're running out the door and it's getting close to lunchtime. Another great snack that we do try to have on hand actually is gummies. My little girl is not the best at eating. She's a little picky eater, and we try to give her everything and just keep having her try everything so that she will just get into this whole thing of eating because it's just not been a huge thing for her, which I don't know how, because I love food. I thought that would come through to my children, but it has not yet. However, she does like some gummies. And I mean, who doesn't? It's basically Jell-O, except a little thicker. And all it is we use an organic juice from Aldi. It's really good on its own. And so we just do that with some gelatin. The carb with the gelatin like that is just pretty balanced. We'll a lot of times add it with cheese. I have cheese sticks on hand, and we'll do meat sticks sometimes. The kids don't love those as much. I do, my husband does, and the gelatin don't bring really a fat to the table. So we add a fat to that to just make that pretty well rounded, and the kids love them, and especially my daughter, she will down those. But they do make a great snack that you can make ahead, that's easy for kids to access, that's not messy, and that is very satisfying to get them through to the next meal. So those are great for 1-year-olds specifically. I can give you that real life experience there. And another one that it may seem simple, but a lot of times I'll even forget about it, smoothies. Now this does involve you, unless your kids are a little bit older, can do their own. Throw everything in a mixer, blend it up, and add some protein powder. I'll link the protein powder that we use because we have started using it a lot. It is just so helpful to get in that easy protein source into something that's easier to make. And with the smoothies, a lot of times we will throw in a banana, some blueberries and frozen blueberries, or any kind of other frozen fruit. Really what we have on hand is what we use. And I will just always throw protein powder in there, and you're getting some protein from the milk as well. We'll put juices in if we have them. Sometimes we'll just do the milk and fruit and maybe even some yogurt. And then that protein thrown in, and smoothies are so exciting for my kids. They think they're milkshakes. So those are always great to throw together, and a lot of times a good thing for that afternoon time frame, whereas I feel like in the mornings, especially my kids are a little bit late risers, and so a lot of times they can get through to lunchtime pretty easily, but from lunchtime to dinner time is a lot bigger span of time in our home. I'll make a smoothie just to kind of get us through in that middle time frame and not have super grouchy little little people around me while I cook dinner. Another one is muffins. Any kind of sourdough muffins have those good probiotic properties, and you can even add protein in. I haven't actually done that yet, but I need to. That's a good idea. Though they do require you to make them, it's an easy thing to make ahead. A lot of times we will do the little mini muffin tins. You can even divide up regular muffins to kind of portion those out if you don't want your kids to have an entire muffin for snack time. We make ours pretty large, so sometimes we'll do that, or I'll give a muffin and have my little boys split it. But those are easy to make ahead and then have on hand. I will link the recipe that we use as a base for our sourdough muffins. A lot of times we will add in different fruit, or I've even wanted to do some pumpkin recently with just, you know, all the spices and stuff just to mix it up. But this is a great recipe that always turns out well for me and is very moist. So that's an important feature of muffins for us. So we've adapted it in a lot of different ways, so tweak it to your own liking, because we certainly have, but I will link that so that you have something to start with and something that you know will turn out good. And then finally, one overly simple tip I have for you is a cutting board. You're gonna be like, wow, I stayed watching in the video for that. But bear with me. Having a cutting board out at all times. I keep out a nice marble one that blends in with my countertops and looks nice. And having that out was such a game changer for me as a new mom. I struggled with trying to come up with good snacks that weren't super labor intensive, and a lot of those were the fruit, but then I'm thinking, oh, I have to get something out to cut that, and it was just the headache of it. But ever since I started keeping a cutting board out on the counter, it is so much easier for me to cut that apple or to divide something up or to shred cheese or whatever. Having that on hand has really alleviated that frustration of, oh, now I have to get something out to do something. So having a cutting board out has helped us be a lot more intentional with using up all of our fruit that we buy and cutting up those apples or slicing up those grapes in tiny little pieces for my daughter. It's just been so helpful, and I would encourage you to do that if you don't already. I think it is a great tip, and it's also helpful at dinner time. Like, I use it multiple times a day. We'll make some bread and I already have that out to just go ahead and slice it up. So it's actually just come in handy a lot and has made a big difference in allowing us to eat healthy and fresh foods versus trying to grab some packaged snack or something that's easy to, that doesn't need cut, basically. So before you reach for those packaged snacks in the grocery store, just keep these tips in mind. It may take a little bit of time for your kiddos to get out of that habit of having that prepackaged snack. I know there's a little transition period when we stop doing that, but we pushed through, and my kids know nothing different now, and they're happy as can be, and they love getting to grab their little mandarin oranges or grab some gummies. That's what I have for you today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and for taking this time to watch my video. I would love to bring some yummy sourdough breakfast options to you in the next video, so look for that. Sourdough is my favorite, as you've probably already figured out, and we love these breakfasts. So thanks for joining me, guys. See you next time.